Through last 10 to 14 classes in basic course in biomedical research, we walked through how to formulate a research question, how to formulate objectives, then study designs, quantitative and qualitative studies, the study plan and project management, and also on formulating the data collection tools. And for any research, the most important thing is reliability and accuracy, and to maintain the validity of any health research or any research, the data collection is very important. And in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will deal with the principles of data collection. Okay, principles of data collection, and as I already told in previous classes, the most important thing in any research is reliability and accuracy. And what is this reliability? It is a reproducibility. If the same tool is used many times and also by different persons, the result should be on an average same. The same result should be obtained. That is reliability. And accuracy is defined as the ability of a measurement to be correct on an average. So these two depends on this data collection, how you do the data collection. And these are the 6 steps in any data collection. So one is drafting a question by question guide. Then second is train the staff to collect data and initiate the data collection and ensure the quality of data, and review for quality and completeness, and debrief any troubleshoot and any difficulties, and then validate the data to find out that your results are having a very good internal as well as external validity. So the first one is drafting a question by question guide or a Q by Q guide. What is that? You are having a set of questions in your questionnaire, and each field investigator, the investigators or those who are employed for data collection may be coming from different background. Some of them may be clinical researchers, some of them may be good in field research or field investigators. So each one of them will be having their own interpretation of these questions. How to ask the questions. Is there any need to give any props or not? How to stress something? All this will vary depending upon the person to person variation will be there. So if you make a very good Q by Q guide for each question, so take each question and make a Q by Q guide so that which one has to be stressed to the patient, which one has to be repeated, which has to be given props, etc. should be clearly defined in that. I'll tell with an example. In a questionnaire, the question number 6 has the type of house, Pakka or Kacha. Even now I am having some confusion whether what is Pakka and what is Kacha. So in the Q by Q guide of question number 6 will be given as, if the house is made of mud, tick as Kacha, and otherwise if it's made of cement or asbestos like that, it will be a Pakka home. And in question number 12 is given as, what is the annual income of the family. So the Q by Q guide of that question will tell it as, you ask how many people are employed in the family and ask for the annual income of each one who are employed and calculate the sum of the income of all the persons. Then you will get the household income. Like this, each question has to be drafted. Q by Q guide will tell you what all things has to be done, what all things has to be asked. Like that you have to make a Q by Q guide so that there won't be any variability. So the all investigators will ask in the same manner, and your collected data will be having a very good quality, and it will be a very good Q by Q guide will be a very good road map to get a very good data collection. Okay, then the second is to train the staff to collect data. So the first, for that you have to recruit highly motivated, sincere and trained investigators to collect data. So the investigators may be for clinical research, some may be clinical research, expert in clinical research, some may be expert in field research. So whatever it is, depending upon the type of your project or the type of your study, you have to recruit highly motivated and sincere investigators. And after that, you make them familiarized with your project by doing a slide presentation in your classroom setting. You call all the investigators and give a slide presentation about your project and make them familiarized with your objectives, your methodology, your questionnaires, everything. And after that, give them, allow them to walk through your Q by Q guide. Show them each question and show them each Q by Q guide. How to ask questions, what the answers you are expecting, everything has to be discussed. Make them know what exactly you are expecting from them, what they have to do in the field or in the clinic. That has to be listed out very specifically. And then do the study setting in a simulated environment. Make one investigator to ask question and make another investigator as a participant to answer questions. Make them ask questions and make the simulated participant answer the questions. Then you can know what are the difficulties you are going to happen in a simulated environment. The third is initiate the data collection and ensure quality. So immediately after training your staff and doing the question answering in a simulated environment, you cannot go to the exact study setting. It will be different in a clinic or in a field. It will be different from your simulated classroom. So make a study setting similar to your exact location. Be it in a clinic, you go to another clinic, and if it is a field area, go to another field area having the same characters, and again you initiate the question answer session or interview in that setting. Once again, before going to the exact location, you do that in a simulated similar situation, this data collection, and you can ensure the quality. How? That is, one, you have to appoint a supervisor for the investigators. The supervisor should be in charge of all the investigators and on the collected data, and every day the supervisor should check the collected data for its completeness, its readability and accountability. And while doing the data collection, asking questions, sometimes there will be doubt may arise. So the principal investigator should be available to answer the questions, be it over the phone, by SMS or whatever messaging, whatever way you can, you should be available to answer the questions, and you should remember to do on-site visit. That's also very important. Do regular on-site visit and supervise whether they are doing in a correct manner. And sometimes the principal investigator will be in a hurry to complete the process in a time-bound manner in very short period of time. So he or she will pressurize the investigators to do the data collection in a fast pace. And sometimes it will dilute the quality of data. So the principal investigator should be aware of that. High pressure for time management may dilute the quality of data. And in the fourth step, that is review for quality and completeness. That is, each team or each investigator should make sure that the data collected is complete. He should check it. What all things has to be checked? One is completeness. That is, he should ensure that no areas, no questions are missed, blank. Okay. Sometimes the investigator may ask the questions but forget to write it. So that has to be looked for, checked for. and second, readable. You make it sure that the answers given are readable and also consistency. Check whether the answers make any sense, and also check whether there is any internal validity is fulfilled. All these three things has to be checked. The team investigator should check before the respondent leaves the area. The supervisor should make daily check of all the data collected for all these, and also the principal investigator should look for the this completeness, readability and consistency as and when this questionnaire comes to the principal investigator. And the practice of each investigator writing his or her name with signature in every collected data will increase the accountability of that data. Okay, so that will make some sense or make the investigator more careful on data collection. Okay, then debriefing to troubleshoot. That is by making regular follow-up period, and if there is any problem occurring or any difficulties are facing, that has to be discussed and has to be corrected. And if you want to make any changes in the questionnaire, you can do that, but that has to be documented in the Q by Q guide, and that has to be discussed with the investigators. That is also important. And then sixth one, that is validation, is very, very important. The principal investigator has to do the periodic validation of this collected data. How can you do that? The principal investigator collects a very small subset of the study population, 5 or 6 persons from the study population, and do a second interview with the same questionnaires. And you can verify whether it is similar to that of the first interview done by the field investigator. If there is any discrepancies between the first interview and the second interview you have done, you can find out where the problem is. Sometimes there will be some investigators may not be sincere. They want to complete the process and go back. So all that problems can be caught at the proper time, and also you can find out whether the investigators are sticking on to the Q by Q guide. So if there is any problem, either you can change the questions, or you can find out what is the problem. You can change the investigator, or any other corrective measures can be taken. So that is a very important step in data collection. A very good on-site as well as off-site training of the investigators is very essential, and a periodic supervision, on-site and also off-site supervision, and also the validation of the collected data is very important. And actually this data collection should be done as a very good teamwork with utmost sincerity and keeping on high standards on quality. Thank you.